Just quickly, you know, obviously being 1-0 in the series is a great thing. I suspect that both coaches will be meeting with their teams tomorrow and telling them a lot of the same things. You could have done this better, you could have done that better, take care of the ball, don't turn it over. You know, I thought both teams made some mistakes. You know, first game is kind of, you know, feeling it out and deciding, you know, how somebody's going to play you. And I thought we adjusted fairly well to how we were going to be played. But the second half, you know, was played evenly. And we need to be better than that. Our turnovers were higher than I'd like, but we got ourselves to the free throw line. We did a good job on the boards. We got some huge second shots in the fourth quarter that, you know, gave us the possession back after they made their run. You know, and having 5 players in double figures is huge. But I thought, you know, obviously Elena did, you know, what she does. I mean, 22, 10, and 5. And we had a lot of great contributions, but the Ariel Atkins contribution was huge today. From, you know, making her first 3 of the game to being aggressive. That looked like the Ariel from last year in the playoffs. And that offensive rebound she got late in the game was, you know, a huge saver for us. It gave us the last piece of momentum that we needed. Okay.
Mike, first question, last row center.
Coach. William Ford, Washington Informer. Was some of the conscious effort for tonight offensively was more of a drive and kick game, especially with Christie going in the lane and kicking it out?
I don't know that it was any more than normal, other than we're trying to make people have to overhelp a little bit so that we can get some clear looks. You know, when a team's switching as much as they did, you know, she had posts guarding her, and that gives her some opportunities to drive, as did some others. And when they switched and we had mismatches, they double-teamed Emma and Elena on the block. And so, you know, when it's kicked back out to the guard, you have some driving lanes when teams are double-teaming. So I think there was as much of just a product of the game and not necessarily a game plan. I think that's kind of what I was saying. Our team adjusted to how we were being played. And so, you know, those are the opportunities that were being presented today.
Mike, last row right.
Mike, on Washington Post. John Paul's obviously had some pretty big games against you in the regular season. What were you kind of able to do today to limit her and not let her get going early?
I mean, we tried to, you know, with Elena's length, try to make it tough on her. She shoots a turnaround pretty well against us. We tried to limit her catches a little bit more by, you know, denying post-entry passes to her. Same thing we tried to do in the Vegas series is that Cam Beige was so big and physical, it was, you know, a little bit harder. You know, we tried to put Jonquil in tougher spots. And, you know, the trade-off was we gave up some other stuff, but I thought it was a big deal that, you know, we made her and Jasmine have to work hard to get stuff done. But in doing that, we gave up some other things. Hopefully, you know, we'll have the same focus come Tuesday.
Mike, third row to your left.
Hey, Mike, Doug Feinberg, DAP. I have 2 questions. The first one, Kurt was saying how 99% of people in this league, if they pick a dribble up, they're not going to be able to score as easily as Atlanta did in that last few minutes. She had the 2 baskets when they cut it to 4, and the second one, I think, started the run that you guys got the cushion with. So just how confident you are with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, she wouldn't, you know, I think Elena would say she doesn't love to be in that position, but because of her length and how high she gets the ball up on her shot, she can shoot over people or lean in on people. I mean, she's been used to being bumped and hit like that, you know, all of her career, and she's learned to adjust to that. I think she would tell you probably that, you know, she wishes she hadn't picked up a dribble a couple times and maybe she could have got one more step. But by the same token, they come hard with their hands in the lane and they try to disrupt you and make you pick it up to get your shot. It's nice to have a weapon like that can make those plays because there's not very many that can.
The second question, just you went to the big lineup in the first quarter. I think you closed with a 12-0 or 12-2 run to sort of put some space there. What did you see that was so effective early on with those 3 playing together? Well,
they were put in a position of having one of their guards either guard Elena or Emma Miesemann or Latoya, and we were going to go at that matchup, which we did with Emma some. The problem for us is that we didn't stay with it long enough because Emma got a couple quick fouls, and so we didn't play the lineup as long. But that was, you know, that was the idea, is to make them have to play on their heels, make a decision on who they were going to put on our various post players. I think that was the big thing. We just couldn't stay with that lineup long enough in the second half. I think Latoya was sore from the other day, the ankle turn, and we kind of got to the point where we put our 5 best shooters on the floor down the stretch, or a good offensive lineup. But we'll see more of that lineup as the series goes on.
Mike, second row to your left.
Mike, you've told us before that you knew you would need Christie in the lineup to win last series and this series, and she showed up in a lot of different various ways in the fourth quarter, especially, but throughout the game too, on offense and everywhere else. How crucial is it that she has been here and done this with another team in the past, and she's had the experience in college as well, winning a championship. How crucial is that for the rest of your roster and for you as a coach?
I mean, I think, it's comforting for an entire team, coaches and players, to know you have somebody, not even so much whether she's won a championship before, but is not afraid of taking shots in big moments. The best players in the history of basketball are ones who want to make plays when the game's on the line. There are a lot of people that kind of run from it when it gets late in games, and there are others, who step up. Luckily, we have 3 or 4 on our team that are all willing to do that. You saw it today. And Connecticut has those kind of players too. That's why probably both here, because you have both teams not afraid of the moment. But Christie, she's done it enough time. You have enough repetitions of taking big shots, or that tends to carry over. And her teammates know that that's somebody that can just throw the ball and she'll go make a play. I thought her biggest one was her drive down the lane where she finger rolled it, because I thought that was another momentum play for us when they had been making a run at us.
Mike, last row to your left.
Mike, could you, obviously the series will be decided on the court, but can you also address that obviously you have a home arena this year, but also just the change in culture where you're getting the kind of support right down to the same chef the Wizards have, or the weight room. Again, it will be decided on the court, but how that adds to the equation.
Well, I mean, as you've all witnessed here, the atmosphere in the arena is terrific with the fans and how they're on top of everybody, and it's loud. It's given us a home court advantage we've never had. Certainly in my 7 years in D.C. The intimate setting is terrific. Our players feed off that. And then, to be able to walk in a building and know that we're important to somebody, to ownership, to the rest of the organization. You see the Wizards players and staff here supporting us, and vice versa, and it makes a big difference. They know that they're cared about. So, from medical help to nutrition to, the weight room to everything, that's we're trying to be a gold standard in this league if we can. And our players are proud of that, and they know that, throughout the organization, people have their back.
Mike, thank you.
Thanks.
I believe our Connecticut players are just about here.